There's something funny going on around here.
Wise old elf, what do we do next?
A good question, Holly. Next, we wind the toys up.
Look! It works! Wow! Whoa! Go on, do something. Nanny, my owl doesn't work.
Don't worry. I'll just give it a little help.
Nanny Plum, have you been doing magic?
Just a teeny tiny little bit to help things along.
You are a very naughty fairy.
Sorry, wise old elf.
We'll say no more about it. Now, Holly, let's see what your owl can do.
It doesn't work at all.
Maybe too much magic went into its making.
I can fix it. I'm very good at mending things. There, that should do it.
Hooray! Daisy and Poppy, I'm sure you didn't mean to. Meow! Birdie wordy, birdie wordy.
Phew, do you think that's it? Yes, luckily birds can't hold wands.
Ah, Barnaby and Ben, have you seen the girls?
The kittens are Holly and Fleur.
And the birds are the twins.
What?
Daisy and Poppy have been doing a bit of magicking.
I see. And who are all the rabbits?
They're the elves.
Right. We've got a lot of tidying up to do. Runaway kittens, come back fairies. Hop away bunnies, come back elves. Fly away birdies, come back twins. Holly, you were supposed to be looking after your little sisters.
But Nanny, the twins are impossible.
They are a bit of a handful.
Well, I suppose no harm was done.
No harm done. They turned us all into rabbits.
I know. I'm most impressed.
But...
The little darlings are getting really good at magic.
Foggy, foggy.
I think I'll take those wands. We won't be needing any more magic today.
But Nanny Plum, we can't just leave her as a frog.
Can't we? No, I suppose not. All right, Holly. Magic her back again.
Hop away, frog. Come back, Nanny. Gaston!
As I said, ladybirds are never happy.
Gaston, what's wrong?
Oh dear.
Nanny, what did he say?
He said he loved his home just as it was. All messy and smelly.
Oh, sorry, Gaston.
Don't worry, we'll make it just the way you like it.
Yes, we're very good at making things messy.
This is fun!
A cobweb here, a cobweb there. Brilliant!
Zip, zap, zessie, Gaston's bed, nice and messy.
smelly socks.
And lollipops.
Good. Now just a final layer of dirt and we're done. Well done, everybody. That smells just as bad as it did before.
Hooray!
And if you ever want us to make your cave untidy again, Gaston, don't be afraid to ask.
Yes, that's what friends are for.
Come on, let's play.
Hey, wait for us. Come on, Gaston. Giddy up, giddy up. Yee-haw!
Can't catch me.
Yes, we can.
It's a terrible signal. Wise old elf?
Nanny Plum, don't you know what time it is?
I didn't call to ask you the time. We're in a big house and the window's closed. I need some elves to rescue us.
I see. How many elves do you need?
All of them.
We came in through the window, but now it's shut.
There, it's open.
Thanks, Lucy.
It was nice meeting you, Lucy, but we weren't supposed to wake you. It's okay. I'll pretend to be asleep. Bye-bye.
I see you woke the little girl up.
We didn't mean to, Nanny.
Oh, it's okay. They always wake up.
Elves to the rescue!
Elves to the rescue! Now, where's this window that needs opening?
You just came through it.
But that's an open window.
Yes, we've done it ourselves. We don't need you anymore. Sorry.
Sorry? You've just dragged every elf in the kingdom from their beds.
Shush. Can you be quiet?
Of course I can. Elves are very good at being quiet. And we're elves!
No! This is why elves can't be tooth fairies. You're too noisy.
Are you all right, Lucy? We heard a noise.
It's okay. She's asleep. You can come out now.
You!
Bye, Lucy. See you again. Bye, Ben and Holly.
King and Queen Marigold don't like country things, and the instruments sound so, rough.
I can fix that.
How?
I'll just use magic to make the instrument sound more normal. Play me a tune, Mr. Elf.
Fantastic! That sounds exactly the sort of music King and Queen Marigold would like.
Problem solved.
King and Queen Marigold.
How delightful to see your little kingdom again, Queen Thistle.
It's always such a pleasure to experience your simple country life here.
We can't wait to hear some genuine elf music.
Oh, yes. You must hear it.
Oh, King Thistle, you didn't tell me you were a conductor.
I take a special interest in the sound of this band.
I must say, this is not at all what I expected elf music to sound like.
They have been practicing very hard.
These elves play well, but the tune is a little old-fashioned.
And their instruments sound very ordinary.
I assumed elf music would be more folksy.
What's that?
Oh, I say.
What's that? Oh!
Rinky-dinky-doo, rinky-diddly-dee, dooby-dooby-doo, dibbly-dibbly-dee, rinky-dinky-doo.
Stop!
you like me to stop?
Yes! And please go!
Would you like me to go?
Yes! Goodbye!
Oh, sleep well. See you in the morning.
Mr. Gnome is funny.
He is silly.
Yes, really silly.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
It's the gnome.
He's come back to eat our breakfast. Oh, a mole!
Oh, it's eating our washing.
Shoo! Shoo! Go away, mole! Princess Holly, do you know a magic spell to get rid of moles?
I'm sorry, Mr. Elf. I don't.
Oh, dear. Think, Mr. Elf. What gets rid of moles?
Hello?
Hey!
Yes, moles don't like us gnomes. No idea why.
Thank you, Mr. Gnome, for saving our campsite from the mole.
That's all right. What's for breakfast?
The mole ate all the food.
Oh, dear.
Good morning.
Nanny Plum!
How was your night?
It was very strange.
Mr. Gnome turned up, and he loves oranges.
And Mr. Gnome sang a funny song called Rinky Dinky Doo.
Then a mole came along and ate our washing line and all our food.
And now we haven't any breakfast.
Yes, I thought that might happen.
Wise old elf, maybe you should get out from under the cow.
If only I could take a closer look. Oh,
Oh dear! It's raining and I haven't got my umbrella.
What about the wise old elf?
oh.
He's under a cow.
At least he's dry under there.
Lucy, could you get Bessie to stand up, please?
I'm sorry. Cows never get up when it's raining.
Daddy Plum, you may now use magic if you wish.
I didn't think you liked magic.
Just get me out.
If you're sure.
I'm sure.
Abracazoo, up you get, cow.
Now, what was I saying?
The last thing you said was... Ugh! That's the sound you made when the cow sat on you. Ugh!
Thank you, Strawberry.
Oh no! It's a thunderstorm!
Everyone back on the bus.
Lucy, you'd better go indoors. But I can't. I have to get all the animals into the barn first.
Rex can help.
But what about Bessie and the chickens? Maybe I could try magicking them into the barn. Oh no! It's too wet for my wand to work. It is working. Look!
It's not magic. It's Gaston.
He's copying Rex the sheepdog.
The weather in the Little Kingdom today will be bright and sunny everywhere.
Hang on. If you've stopped all the magic in the castle, why is the TV still working?
The TV's not magic.
Isn't it? Really?
Oh! If there's no magic today, how can I make Ben a birthday card?
Well, you could make the card by hand.
Really? Could I?
And I can help you.
Nanny Plum, I think you'll be busy cleaning up the kitchen.
That will take but a moment with my fairy magic wand.
But there isn't any magic. You've stopped all the magic for one day.
Oh, yes.
This will be fun.
This will be fun too.
I think I'll start with a picture of Ben. It's easy doing things without magic.
Yes, really easy.
Now, lots of kisses for Ben. And some sparkly glitter. There. Lovely.
Yes, it's amazing what can be done without using magic.
Yes, Nanny Plum, it is.
Now quick, or you'll be late for Ben's birthday party.
Ben's going to love his birthday card.
Where? All I can see is a litter bin.
What? Big people and fairies might call it a litter bin, but to us it is the great elf tower.
Why are you wearing those funny clothes?
They're not funny.
These are safety clothes. The Great Elf Tower can be very dangerous.
And very smelly. Here goes.
Keep going. You're almost there.
Have you found lots of things for making toys?
Not yet. It's a bit dark. I'll go down and take a closer look. Oh, dear. I think the Great Elf Tower is empty.
Oh. Mummy, Daddy, can I have some more jelly, please? This is a really
Dad,
nice picnic.
I can hear
Oh,
big
look,
people.
it's
We must stay out of their way. Big people have very big feet.
Come on, Rex.
That was a lovely picnic.
Let's tidy up.
OK, Dad. I'll take the litter to the bin.
Thank you, Lucy.
Come on, Rex.
That's the sound of big people. Quick, get out of the bin.
Huh? What was that?
I said, get out of the bin.
It's not a bin. It's the Great Elf Tower.
Just get out of there, you silly old elf.
Excuse me.
Ooh, a little fairy.
Hello.
Ooh, and a smelly little fairy.
I am not a smelly little fairy. I'm a smelly little elf. Hello, King Thistle. Where's this hamster of yours?
My hamster?
Here's Pippin.
Ah!
Pippin likes you.
No, charmed, I'm sure. Bring in the wheel.
Right-ho!
Goodness, where's that going to go? It's hideous.
The things we do for our pets, eh, King Thistle?
It's not my pet.
Lower the wheel into the hamster cage.
Hamster cage? Are you talking about my castle?
Put the wheel in the middle of the hamster cage, Mr. Elf.
Pippin. Here, Pippin.
Pippin like wheel.
Are you sure the wheel is strong enough?
It'll be fine. Hamsters don't run very fast. Ooh, you've got a fast hamster, haven't you?
The wheel's spinning too quickly.
She cannot take it, Captain.
It's okay. The wheel's too big to go through the cage door.
My castle!
Oh, dear.
Pippin's escaped again.
The wheel's heading for the Great Elf Tree.
We'll have to warn the elves.
Hello?
Hello, dear. It's me. Do you know what hamsters are?
Yes, dear. They're sweet little fluffy creatures.
Yes. Well, don't panic, but there's a hamster coming your way in an enormous wheel.
Oh. Apparently, they were made at the elf factory by someone called the Wise Old Elf.
We know the wise old elf.
You know the wise old elf?
What's he like?
He's wise.
He's old.
He's a grumpy old elf that's a bit clever.
This is my favourite toy.
A clockwork fairground ride.
But sadly, it's broken.
Don't worry, I can mend it.
I don't think so. It needs to be seen by an expert.
Elves are experts, and I'm an elf.
And I can help you, Ben.
Rah! Don't touch!
These toys must not be touched by children.
We'll have to touch it to mend it.
Okay.
There, it's mended.
Vroom, vroom, beep, beep.
This is fun!
There, it stopped.
I wanted to go again.
Oh, yes, again.
More.
Okay.
Vroom, vroom.
King and Queen Marigold's castle isn't boring at all.
Yes, actually, it's quite fun, isn't it?
Hooray!
Well
done,
done, Ben! You see? I told you no one would notice.
Someone has been using magic.
He knows.
Okay, but he doesn't know it was me.
Mistress Plum.
Hello?
I'll take that wand, if you please. And Ben Elf, you are disqualified from the high jump.
But that's not fair.
The rule book clearly says magic is not allowed at the elf games.
But it wasn't Ben's fault.
It was my idea. Sorry, Ben.
We were worried you wouldn't win.
I could have won the race and the high jump. Now I'm not going to win anything.
Take your partners, please, for our final event, the Wheelbarrow Race. Oh, dear. Ben doesn't have a partner.
Can I be your partner, Ben? I promise I won't use magic or flying.
No, you've already messed things up enough.
Please, Ben. I know I'll be good at it. What is a wheelbarrow race? This is how you do it. I'm really good at walking on my hands. It's just like gymnastics.
Okay, then.
My goodness, a fairy. Oh, well, the rule book doesn't say a fairy can't race. On your marks, get set, go!
Come on, Are we there yet?
Nearly. This way.
Hello, Princess Holly.
Hello, wise old elf.
This is the Great Elf Clock,
Wow.
the most accurate clock of all.
What does accurate mean?
It means it always tells the right time.
Quite so, Ben. I set it every night by the distant bells. They usually ring about now.
Da da dum, do da dee da, da da la la, da dum dee da. Oh, my tummy's rumbling. That means it's time for dinner. Dinner time! Dinner time!
The bells! The bells! Now I need to adjust the clock.
The That's just Nanny Plum.
What do you mean?
Nanny rings the bell every night when it's dinner time.
And how does Nanny Plum know it's dinner time?
Her tummy rumbles.
What? You mean I've been setting the great elf clock to a fairy's tummy rumble?
Yes.
Her tummy does seem to be amazingly accurate. It is dinner time.
Bye, Ben.
See you tomorrow, Holly. Oh,
Why has Gaston stopped?
he's looking up into the sky. So that's where your wand has gone.
How?
Can your wand fly?
My wand is magic, but I don't think it can fly.
Well, it's up there somewhere. If only it could talk to us and tell us where it is.
That's easy. It can't talk, but it can make a sort of tinkly sound.
Great! Could you call to it?
OK. Wand, I wand. That's my wand.
It's coming from up there. It's a jackdaw.
And it's got my wand.
Jackdaws like shiny things.
It's very high up. And I'm not allowed to fly high.
No problem. I'll climb up.
Be careful, Ben.
Don't worry, Holly. Elves are very good at climbing, and I'm an elf. Nice birdie. Can we have our wand back, please? That was lucky.
Wow, Ben. Tricking the jackdaw to open its mouth. I would never have thought of that.
Yes. Elves are very good at that sort of thing. We should go before the jackdaw works out what to do next.
OK.
Giddy up, Gaston! Giddy up! Giddy up! Hooray!
Back to the kitchen. Now, let's mix all the ingredients. Blackberry, sugar, lemon, dewdrop, slug slime, and finally, frog burp. And now, the magic words. Sugar and spice, glug, 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 burp of a frog, slime of a slug.
That's going to taste horrible.
No, Ben. Remember, it's a potion to rub on the feet, not to drink. Nobody would drink this.
Oh, my! That is bad! Ugh! That did taste disgusting!
Daddy, you shouldn't have drunk it.
You should have rubbed it on your feet.
What?
I wonder what will happen now. Let's see what the book says. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, dear.
What is it?
Silly me. It's not a recipe for cold medicine after all. It's a cure for baldness. But I must say, Your Majesty, long hair really does suit you.
Nanny Plum? I think my cold has gone.
Hooray!
Achoo! Oh, I seem to have caught the king's cold.
There's something funny going on around here.
Wise old elf. What do we do next?
A good question, Holly. Next, we wind the toys up.
Look! It worked! Wow! Cool! Go on, do something. Nanny, my owl doesn't work.
Don't worry. I'll just give it a little help.
Nanny Plum, have you been doing magic?
Just a teeny tiny little bit to help things along.
You are a very naughty fairy.
Sorry, wise old elf.
We'll say no more about it. Now, Holly, let's see what your owl can do.
It doesn't work at all.
Maybe too much magic went into its making.
I can fix it. I'm very good at mending things. There, that should do it.
Hooray!
Say cheese.
Cheese. What?
It's smelly elf cheese.
It's really smelly.
Yes, it's top quality smelly elf cheese.
That was not funny at all, Mr. Old Elf.
Oh, yes, it was.
I'm going to turn you into a snail.
But Nanny, you said never use magic in anger.
I'm not angry. Now, where's my wand?
It was just a joke.
Yes, and here's another joke. Elf to snail.
Naughty Nanny, you said never use magic when you're angry.
Yes. Happy Elf Joke Day, wise old snail. Ha 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 ha.
What's that snail doing here?
Well, Daddy, the wise old elf played jokes on Nanny Plum, and she got angry and did a spell on him.
The wise old elf was just having fun. Don't you have a sense of humour, Nanny Plum?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Nanny Plum, why did you turn him into a snail?
It was meant to be a funny joke.
And was it funny?
No, Your Majesty.
He doesn't look very happy.
I'm not surprised. Turn him back into the wise old elf, please, Nanny Plum.
Very well, Your Majesty. Silly old elf, back to yourself.
Your Majesty.
Let's try this. Basket, basket. More, more, more.
Basket, basket, more, more, more.
Phew. For a moment there, I thought we were going to have another jelly flood.
Jelly flood, jelly flood, jelly flood.
Flood! Jelly flood!
Nanny, there's too much jelly.
Stop it, Nanny!
Shazam, shazing. Magic pudding. Shrink, shrink, shrink.
Nanny, try a stronger spell.
I could use the stop magic spell, but that's only for royal emergencies.
I declare this a royal emergency!
Thunder and lightning, north wind blow. Magic spells, away you go.
It worked! Hooray!
Nanny, where's our food?
sorry. I had to stop all the magic, and that included our magic picnic.
That's strange. My food is still here.
That's because it wasn't made by magic.
And luckily, I've enough for everyone.
Thank you, Ben.
But Nanny, you said fairies don't eat elf food.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me, Princess Holly.
We can have a nice time without a picnic. Let's sit and enjoy the view.
Yummy.
I'm a bit hungry.
Me too.
Daddy told us to feed Betty, but now she's so big she'll never fly. Daddy must be wrong.
Holly, Daddy's never wrong. He's a king and he's very, wise.
But how will Betty fly?
Wait and see. Good night, Holly.
Good night, Mummy.
But how will Betty Caterpillar fly?
Well, she won't exactly be a caterpillar anymore.
I don't get it.
You will tomorrow. Good night, Ben.
Good night, Dad.
Morning time. Ben!
Holly!
Hi, Ben.
Hi, Holly.
Oh, where's Betty?
I don't know. But look at that.
Ugh. What is it?
Don't know, but it wasn't here yesterday.
Hiya. Hi, Violet. Hi, Strawberry. Ugh. What's that?
We don't know.
It's a cocoon. Caterpillars make them. So, is Betty Caterpillar inside? Yes, but when she comes out, she won't be a caterpillar anymore.
What will she be?
Maybe a frog. A frog? Or maybe a bird. I see. Betty Caterpillar's going to turn into a bird. Then she'll fly.
Gaston has spots on his back.
And Gaston's bed is where he lays.
It's another map.
Ooh. The X shows the little castle.
Impossible! I've dusted every nook and cranny of the little castle. I would have found it.
Maybe it's well hidden, me sweetheart.
To the little castle.
Hello, everybody.
Peace of the night.
Goodness me.
Daddy, we're searching for pirate treasure. My uncle is Redbeard the Elf Pirate.
Your Majesties. A pirate, eh? Not a nasty pirate, Your Majesty. A good pirate. For I am Redbeard, the Elf Pirate. Well, that's all right then.
So, where's this treasure?
Up above the castle, I point to the sky, and hidden underneath me is where the clue lies.
Well, that's just nonsense.
I know. The roof is above the castle.
And it points to the sky. Very clever, Your Majesties.
But that's ridiculous. I've dusted on top of the roof 100 times.
Maybe it'd be under the roof. I've an idea. Take a look under the roof, Nanny Plum.
Oh, are you sure, Your Majesty?
I command it.
As you wish. Zip, zap, zap! Roof lift up!
Oh, I meant take a look through the attic door.
Oh.
Another map.
The X is at the river.
Zigzag zog, make me into a frog.
Wow!
A common frog. Look how slimy it is. And how smelly it is.
Oh, stinky wimpy poo!
And how silly it sounds. Well, that brings today's nature class to a most satisfactory close. Nanny Plum, you can turn yourself back now.
I don't think Nanny Plum can turn herself back again.
She can't pick up her wand.
Oh, what a shame. Now, for your homework...
But Nanny Plum, we can't leave her as a frog.
Can't we? Oh, I suppose not. Which fairy wants to turn her back again?
Me!
All right. Holly, do your best.
I'm not sure what spell to use.
I'm sure Nanny Plum would want you to just have a go anyway.
OK, I'll try this. Abracazary, frog to fairy. Oh, it worked.
Oh, thank you, Holly.
Oops. Sorry, Nanny.
You did very well, Holly. But you shook your wand a bit too hard. Abracazary, frog to fairy.
Hooray!
You see, children, it's all in the wand control.
Well, I suppose it's not really a birthday then, as long as the elf band doesn't turn up.
There's one more surprise, Daddy.
Oh, I love surprises.
You have to close your eyes.
OK.
You can open your eyes now.
Surprise!
I said no birthday party!
It's not a birthday party, darling.
It's just a surprise party.
Oh, well then, I suppose...
Happy I mean, congratulations, Your Majesty, on being such an excellent king. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
And now for the giant firework!
It's as big as a carrot.
Ha-ha! I love fireworks.
And now, Your Majesty, the elf band will sing a special song in your honour. Oompa, oompa, old King Thistle is a very old king, and he's 1 year older today. Old King Thistle, he's old and grey. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Of course, the song isn't actually about you. It's about a different king, Your Majesty.
A king far away from here.
Whose birthday it is today.
In that case, it was a very nice song.
I think they're trying to fly.
But they can't fly.
I can teach them. Fairies are good at flying, and I'm a fairy. OK, baby birds, just copy me. Flying is easy peasy. Oh, they're not copying me.
Maybe we should start with something simpler. How did you learn to fly?
I've been flying since I was a baby. I can't remember my first flying lesson.
Let's begin with flapping, like this.
They're copying you, Ben.
Now flap faster. Now jump. They're flying.
Clever, Ben. You taught them to fly even though you can't fly yourself. Bye-bye, birds.
There they go. Goodbye, little ones.
Oh, don't say you miss them now.
No, I've just got something in my eye.
Have the chicks hatched yet? I want to tick them off in my book.
They've flown away, Daddy.
I taught them how to fly.
Oh.
Baby woodpecker chicks are a once-in-a-lifetime sight for a bird spotter. But you missed them.
It's not fair. Now I'm not going to spot anything good. Hello?
King Thistle, we've got a strange nest in the castle.
A nest? I'll be there straight away.
Here's the fuel tank, Nanny Plum.
Now, ask the magic basket for jelly.
What? But you said no more magic jelly. Remember?
I know I did, but this is an emergency.
OK, how much jelly do you want?
A lot.
Rightio.
What? How will that help?
The jelly comes out of the magic basket at amazing speed. We can use the power of jelly to make the rocket fly back home.
If I'd said that, you'd say I was being silly.
But it's not you saying it. It's me.
And the wise old elf is very wise, Nanny Plum.
I suppose he is a bit clever. OK, let's give it a go. Magic basket, please. Jelly, jelly. Lots, lots, lots. Oh, hang on, everyone.
It worked! Hooray!
Elf rocket to control! We are heading back to the Little Kingdom using jelly power. Hooray!
They're on their way home.
It's Big Bad Barry.
He's swimming towards Redbeard's boat.
Oh dear, he's going to eat it.
No! Me treasure! Did you see that? He swallowed it whole, like it were a grape.
Oh, what a shame. Shall we go home then?
Go home? But we haven't got me treasure.
Well, we can't do much about that now.
I never thought I'd say it, but Nanny Plum is right.
Unless you want to sail into Barry's stomach and take your treasure back. This adventure is over.
You're right, me fruity pancake. Take us home, Mr. Elf.
Aye, aye, Captain Redbeard. Who turned out the lights?
It's all gone dark.
Where are we?
Oh, we must have sailed into a cave. Mr. Elf was chatting instead of looking where he was going.
I was parked.
Well, we're somewhere strange, and no mistake. And I'll shave me beard off if there's not something fishy going on. Turn on the lights, Mr. Elf.
Aye, aye, Captain.
It smells fishy.
What a pong!
Where are we?
Look! Me ship!
There are more boats as well.
It's Bunty, the boat Big Bad Barry ate last winter. That's my old boat, Trixabelle. And there's Fifi. And Miss Boo-Boo.
If all those boats are inside Big Bad Barry,
Then we must be inside Big Bad Barry.
By all that's wet and fishy, you're right! We're in the belly of the big fish!
That explains the smell.
Just think, all those years I tried to catch Barry, and now he's caught me.
how are we going to get out of here?
Hi, Holly. That was the last delivery. Now we can play.
You might have finished, Ben, but I'm still working.
Holly, it's time for your speech.
Hello. You all look very nice, and I hope you have fun dancing today.
Jolly good show.
Jolly good show. What happens now?
Now comes the hard bit. We have to sit still and not fall asleep.
In honour of your majesty, we will now do a dance.
awful. Even worse. Very good. Very good.
Come on, Daddy. Let's dance.
What? But Oh, all right. Could you play something a little bit more modern?
Righto.
I like your work, Daddy. It's fun.
Oh, you're right, Holly. King's work is fun. It's been a long day. I think I'll go to bed early.
Your Majesty, that might be a problem.
What do you mean?
Well, it's to do with Gaston.
Yes?
Nanny magicked this basket for Gaston to sleep in.
Well done, Nanny.
But the basket was too drafty. Then he tried my bed, but that was too soft.
Oh, dear. I don't like the sound of this.
Don't worry, Daddy. Gaston's found a bed that he says is just right.
Oh, but that's my bed. What's he saying now?
Gaston says he is very tired and would like to go to sleep now.
Good night, Gaston. Sleep tight.
So, where are we going to sleep?
Oh, that was the most uncomfortable night ever.
Oh, how long is Gaston going to stay with us?
I did say he could stay here until his cave was mended.
And how long will that take?
I don't know.
She doesn't seem very pleased.
If you want food, I can make some with my magic picnic basket.
What would you like to eat?
She likes sweet things. What kind of sweet things? Jelly? Oh, I can do jelly.
Careful, Nanny Plum. We don't want a jelly flood.
Don't worry. I know what I'm doing. Magic basket, please. Jelly, jelly, but not a lot. Do you want more? No problem.
Careful, Nanny Plum.
Oh, Mr. Elf, stop fussing. Jelly, jelly, a little bit more.
Nanny, they all want jelly.
Goodness me, we'll be here all day. I'll just have to make a lot more.
No, Nanny Plum!
More, more, more!
Jelly flood! The jelly is showing us the way out. Jelly flood!
I can hear something. What's that?
Jelly flood!
What are they shouting? Jerry Fudd?
What's Jerry Fudd?
Jelly flood!
Jelly Flood! Is it morning already?
Must tidy up. Must tidy up.
Put me down! Put me down! Goodness me! What's happening?
The robot is tidying up everything.
Yes, including us.
It's a monster. How do we stop it?
Only Ben can stop it.
Hello, Mrs. Elf speaking.
Hello, Mrs. Elf. Sorry, it is a bit late, but this is an emergency. We need Ben. Now.
Righto! Ben, there's an emergency at the little castle. We have to go right away.
Righto! Elves to the rescue!
Who's the best at rescuing?
Elves are best at rescuing.
And what are we?
We're elves!
It's the elves!
Hooray!
Look, there's my robot.
Ah! Put me down! Oof!
Dead elf. Master.
Oh, it's wound down.
Hooray! But what could have caused the toy robot to act so strangely?
I think it was my magic key that did it.
Magic!
What have you got there, Gaston? It's the proper key. Well done, Gaston.
Ben, are you sure that's a good idea?
It'll be fine.
Ah, that's the toy robot I remember.
Now, all astronauts into their spacesuits. Get ready for takeoff.
What's this for?
There's no air in space. You'll have to wear a spacesuit.
But we can just use magic to breathe.
No, magic is not allowed aboard the elf rocket. You will have to leave your wands behind.
OK.
Astronauts aboard the rocket.
Queen Thistle, would you please come with me to the mission control room?
Ooh.
Systems check.
Engines ready?
Engines are go.
Computers ready?
Computers online.
Fuel system ready?
Fuel systems A-OK.
Start the countdown.
10.
I want to wish you all the best of luck. You are going where no elf has gone before.
Oh, fairy!
Or fairy. Oh, sorry, Holly. You are going where no elf or fairy has gone before. Is everyone ready?
All ready and A-OK, wise old elf.
0.
Here we go.
Next stop, the moon!
Blast off!
Hang on, everybody. All systems go.
Where did it go?
Where did it go? Where did it go? Into space. It actually worked. I wasn't expecting that.
We are now out of Earth's atmosphere. We can take off.
You shall all eat ice cream!
Hooray! Thank you, Queen Holly!
Where are we going? To the kitchen! We can use Nanny Plum's cauldron to make the ice cream.
Oh, are you going to make the ice cream with magic?
Of course I am!
But Holly, your spells don't always work out quite right.
Making ice cream is easy peasy. Watch! Abracadoo, abracabong. Ice cream for everyone all day long. See, it worked.
Wow! Ice creams for everyone!
Ooh, thank you!
I'll be back with more! Oh, there's quite a lot! Will it stop soon?
I think I told it to make ice cream all day long.
Oh dear!
We'll soon be home.
Yes, and it's good to see that the kingdom isn't flooded with frogs or jelly or anything.
Yes. Holly must be behaving herself.
There's too many ice creams.
Make it stop, Holly! Make it stop! Phew, that's better.
Ah!